Ichigo, man. I know you've got Cecilia and Char on your arms, but those noises you're making in that face are a bit much. I think you're getting a little too much pleasure out of that. Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for Infinite Stratos 2, Episode 11. And this one just focuses on the school trip that the school is doing. I think it's only first years, with the exception of Tatanashi, because she just kind of does what she wants. But I think it's all first years. That's pretty much what most of this episode is about, the school trip. It's just episodic, non-plot related stuff until like the last 5 minutes or so. Maybe a little bit more than that. I'm not really sure if any of this is filler because, like I said last week, they skipped through almost the entirety of the latest volume and got to the end. And I think that volume 9 is out now, but it's not up on Bakasuki yet. And usually what Bakasuki does is, even if the translations aren't done yet, they'll still at least, upload the cover and all the other novel illustrations. But they haven't even done that yet, so I'm not really sure if volume 9 is out. But I know Wikipedia hasn't listed it. I heard rumors that it was out in Japan, but I really don't know. So this stuff may or may not be anime original. If it is, that's kind of disappointing. I don't see why they would rush through the material they have just so that they could come up with an ending on their own when the manga gave them not the manga, the light novel. I'm just going to assume that volume 6 is out, or volume 9. I'm just going to assume that volume 9 is out. That way, I don't have to assume that these guys are stupid, like the guys who did the Freezing Vibrations anime. I'm just going to assume that these guys aren't stupid, right? But yeah, the episode's mostly about the school trip. Get a few comedic moments, like Tatanashi being in the suitcase. It just kind of opens up. She's there. Kanzashi, even though she is the type of person who never puts effort into anything, is somehow physically stronger than Tatanashi and can push her back down to the suitcase. Ichika and Kanzashi throw her into the back of the truck and they drive her away. Then we see Tatsunashi do like some Harry Houdini type of trick, and she's out of the suitcase with different clothes too. Ichika. The point of Ichika on this episode is to take pictures. That's his job as a class rep. So he takes pictures for most of the rest of the episode, and that kind of gets him into trouble. First, he takes pictures of Cecilia, but he's not actually taking pictures of her, so that she gets kind of annoyed by that. But then Nohon and all these other girls drag him around from place to place taking pictures, and eventually he arrives at this shrine area, I guess, and the camera lens cap falls underneath it. So Shara has to help him get it, but then while she's helping him get it, he sees her panties. So she, instead of doing what Rin would do and like punching him or with her IS arm or probably trying to like kill him and like stab him and stuff, she decides to take advantage of the situation and make him follow her around and stuff. So he spends some time with her. And they end up meeting most of the rest of the main girls, everyone except for Hoki and Kanzashi. They meet the rest of them at this shrine, and they get mad that he's with Char, and then he says some stuff. They all get mad. Like, he says it's impossible for him to be on a date with Char, so she gets kind of annoyed by that. So they all just end up chasing him, and he ends up, once he kind of escapes temporarily, he ends up running into Nohon, who is running away from Kanzashi. And Ichika compliments Kanzashi on, she looked good in her kimono or her yukata, whichever one. I get the two confused sometimes. He complimented her, so the other girls got mad. So then they started chasing him again because they had found him at that point. and he picks up Kanzashi for some reason and runs away with her, which makes everything look that much worse, especially when he ends up running into Hoki, literally running into her. And then at this point, Kanzashi pretty much, she's unconscious, so like, it makes it look really bad. Um, but then they all end up eating together and forgiving Ichika for his denseness and stupidity. Um, Laura, at one point, she sees these little Japanese sweet things and she wants to eat them, but they're too cute to eat. So that was actually kind of funny. Um, she ends up eating one though. And after that, Ichika manages to get away, and Hoki gets away as well. They end up spending some time together. There's this feeling of nostalgia that they're feeling from when they used to walk together as kids and everything. And Ichika decides to take a picture of Hoki, but Squall shows up. Squall shows up and takes a picture of the two of them together. And like I said, I don't know if this is anime original stuff or not, but either way, this should not be the first time that Ichika has met Squall. Like I mentioned back last week, I think it was last week, Ichika met Squall during that dinner that he and Hoki got for doing the interview and the photo shoot. So this is technically the second time he's meeting her, but the anime skipped over that, so they're treating this like it's the first time that they've met. She knew his name, so that alone should be, a red flag popping up, but they end up thinking nothing of it. Well, they don't, it's not that they think nothing of it. They're kind of suspicious, but they end up just saying whatever. And then after that, we see Ichika, a lot of the girls and a lot of the girls are together. Ichika's the only guy there. So a lot of the girls are, in one place right now, and Ichika sees Chifuyu standing there, so he takes a picture of her, which was kind of cool. It's kind of cool whenever you see Chifuyu's soft side, especially when it involves Ichika. And all these girls end up coming over to see the pictures that Ichika took. First it's Char and Cecilia, and then all these other girls come over as well. And what I thought was going to happen was that before the other girls showed up, I thought that Char and Cecilia were going to see the picture he had with Hoki, then get mad at him. But that didn't happen. All these other girls show up, and he gets a strange amount of pleasure out of it. And the camera ends up falling. So Ichika has to go down and get it. And that's when Madoka shows up. And she ends up attacking Ichika. And with her new IS that Tabane made, Black Knight, even though it's more like a black butterfly, but whatever, Hoki and Cecilia realize that Ichika's been gone for too long. Well, Cecilia noticed it, then Hoki went with her. But while they're running off looking for him, they get attacked by Autumn. Then Squall is looking on over the city, and Tatanashi is going to challenge her, And so that's how the episode ends. Squall attacks Tatanashi, Autumn attacks Hoki and Cecilia, and Madoka attacks Ichika. And it's this really awkward ending because, like, Madoka attacks him, then he blocks it and, like, kind of gets pushed back, and then it just ends right there. It was this really awkward place to end. Like, it was just really, really weird, weird how they ended that. Like, they could have even ended it, like, with her firing the shot. Then, like, the shot kind of, like, fills up the screen. But they chose, like, the weirdest place to end. But, no one else can really do anything about it, about the situation, because they're all trapped on the train. Yeah, they're trapped on the train, so they can't really do anything. I mean, they can if they wanted to. Char, Kanzashi, and Rin have ISs, so I mean, they could break out if they wanted to. I'm sure, and even though Chifuyu doesn't have an IS, I'm pretty sure she could break out too, especially if she's on the level of Tabane or above. So, if they really wanted to, they could do something, but we'll see if they do something next week. I'm sure they will, because even though Tatanashi's awesome, Squall is like the final boss, so I don't really see Tatanashi beating her. Autumn will probably be beaten by Hoki and Cecilia, and Ichika kind of sucks. So he's just really weak. So I really don't see him beating Madoka. He's gonna need some help. So unless Hoki and Cecilia manage to beat Autumn really quickly before Ichika dies, then the others are gonna have to break out of the train. Though it's public property. It's not like it's their personal train, so it's probably not gonna be the best idea that they have, but they might end up going with it anyway. But yeah, that's it for the episode. I mean, like I said, I don't know if it's filler or not, but even so, I guess I'll give the episode a 6.5 out of 10, because it really was just okay until the end. Until the end, where we got some plot relevant stuff. Filler or not, it was still plot relevant, so kind of. I mean, you know what I mean. If it's filler, then it's not plot relevant. But you know what I mean, alright? You know what I mean. It looks as though it's relevant to the plot. But yeah, until then, it was just okay. I mean, a little bit of comedy kind of made me laugh at times, but other times it was just meh. But yeah, it was okay for most of the episodes. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. But that's it for now, you guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Don't